Dissident thought is dead, but who cares? Shut up, buying junk for low prices is what America is all about, so let's get to it. Last week, I got a huge Xbox haul. You know, I have this recurring dream where I walk into a place and it's just full of video games, and I don't really have dreams anymore. It's just like an arrangement of crap that happened in my day, and like some parts are out of place. My imagination is dying, but hey, let's not have any introspection. Let's just put on our hats, wave our flags, and pretend like nothing's wrong. So 10 Xbox games, 9 of which actually work, and here is the one that does not, Lord of the Rings, based off of the book and not the movie. And I was actually looking forward to trying this one out because of that. But it doesn't work, which is strange because I checked all the discs before I bought them, and this one was actually in the best condition. Maybe it got overly resurfaced. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it does not work, but the rest of them do, so let's get into the next one that does work. This is Dead or Alive 3 by Team Ninja, and the creator of the Dead or Alive series is a funny guy. I saw an interview of him where he listed his 5 least favorite games, and they were all Tekken games. And this, I looked at the back, and it bragged about the back of the case for Dead or Alive, and it bragged about having 3 Aerosmith songs on it, which I don't understand why bother, but admit that might have sold like 1 extra copy, maybe. I rented Dead or Alive 3 once or twice back when, and I like it, good memories of it. I just never owned it, so this is the first time I have actually owned Dead or Alive 3. You know, I'm recording this on Memorial Day, so you aren't hearing this on Memorial Day, but I'm hearing a lot of people saying like, oh, remember the men and women who died for our country. Well, okay, first of all, I'm just gonna set aside my feelings about what America is for now, and let's just reflect on that. A woman dying for America, serving the armed forces. That we don't view this premise as just the sickest shit. It's just proof that nobody thinks. Nobody has any moral compass. Nobody has any sense of right and wrong. That it does not strike anybody as just so far beyond the pale that we expose women to the horrors of war. But hey, don't listen to me, keep waving your flag, you fucking troglodytes. So from one retrograde subject to another, we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And look, here I am playing Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Wow. Next, Midway Arcade Treasures 1. This is cool because there's a lot of games on it, and I like these compilation things. I wouldn't know how to go about reviewing them. Do I review it as like a whole collection? Do I review each individual game on the collection? Which I think would end up being a very, very long video. But what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the cover art for Midway Arcade Treasures. They actually retrofitted this. It used to have a different cover art, and they retrofitted it to match the graphic design of the second and third Midway Arcade Treasures. I do not have number 2, but I have number 3 on the GameCube, which is just racing games on there. Maybe I will get to that one someday. But this one has one of my favorite probably my favorite puzzle game of all time on here, which is Clax, a game I had owned for the Sega Genesis once upon a time. The introduction to Clax says, it's the 90s and there's time for Clax, but I don't know, I found enough time for Clax in the present day, so I don't think it's a decade thing. I don't think it's exclusive to one decade. If you have not played Clax, check it out. Find some way to play it because it is very good. And if you vote for this game, I will talk about the other games on this collection even more. There's Smash TV as well, which is very good. If you prefer superhero banality, I have X-Men Legends 2. The first X-Men Legends game is a game that has passed through my possession once or twice on a few occasions, and I always end up selling it or giving it away because I don't know, just varying circumstances. It's an action RPG. It reminds me a little bit of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, but with 4 characters that you switch the control of, and you control one at a time and you can play cooperative, but who has time for that? I always prefer video games as a hermetic experience, but I would prefer one character at a time rather than you control one and another three follow you. But, you know, I actually got sucked into this one a little bit. I played it because I was just trying to record a little bit of footage, but I ended up playing this one for like an hour and was enjoying myself. Next is Tenchu. What's the subtitle? Hold on, I forgot it. Oh, Return from Darkness, which from what I understand, this version of the game is exclusive to Xbox, but you could play it on some other console just without some extra added features, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't look too much into it, but this is another game that I got sucked into. It's not too familiar with the Tenchu series. I did have the first one on the PlayStation at some point, but I just don't remember much of it. Never was the biggest stealth game fan, but I don't know, I enjoyed this. I spent, again, more than an hour on this while I was trying out all the games, the other one that I got sucked into. Maybe this signals a new era for me, turning over a new leaf where I play more stealth games and I enjoy them a lot more than I once did. Next is Spider-Man, based off of the 2002 movie. This is one of the only superhero movies that I actually remember and that I liked. I think that superhero movies are another form of cultural poison. But if you like them, I don't really care. There's nothing I can do about it. Don't let me make you feel bad about it. Second Spider-Man game I have found in the recent months, and I have not done an episode of this for a while of thrift store finds, and I should probably address that. I have still been looking, and I have like 5 or 6 episodes worth of stuff. And I like to keep the number of games limited per episode, but this one I found all this stuff at once. It's not like I found 1 or 2 things here or there, so why not just do it all at once? Because I got this stuff all at once. It makes sense to me. So unless something like this happens again where I find just a bunch of games all at once, and there were a lot. It must have came from some guy's unsold inventory from his little, mom and pop game store, but they had a ton of stuff, and a lot of it wasn't really good. Like, I picked out the best stuff. There was one like Dragon Ball Z game that was in rough condition, so I didn't get that. I got something else instead. But yeah, to these 10 games, there was like 30 or 40 of them right there, and there's some garbage in there, like the Da Vinci Code video game. Who remembers that one? Who played that one? Who's like, oh man, the Da Vinci Code for Xbox, that's my jam right there. And yeah, it was all Xbox games. I never have that experience too often where you walk into this section where they keep the games, and the DVDs are usually in the same place, and you just see just games. Because you usually find like 1 or 2 or 3 bunched together in the midst of just garbage, like the bad animal movies that people like to buy. And let me tell you something, I like bad animal movies, but and there's a limit to my enjoyment of things that aren't very good. But the collective, there is no limit to their enjoyment. What game are we talking about? Spider-Man? Yeah. I don't think we've had this many games ever on an episode of Thrift Store Finds. 9 in total is what I'm offering up. Could have been 10, but again, the Lord of the Rings game did not work. As we move into the final third of this episode, this is Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, a game I have rented, a game I remember enjoying. And here it is. Here's where I last left off. I was like trying to figure out, like, okay, how the hell do I play this? And yeah, here's Indiana Jones getting eaten by an alligator, some kind of alligator, crocodile kind of creature. I realize that we have a lot of licensed games on here, but hey, it's mostly good stuff. Of all the licensed games I've played here, they're all pretty well done. They all respect their source material. They give it a boost. This here Indiana Jones game, I think, is far from shovelware that is typical of licensed video game products. And something I noticed, I think that they took the case and instruction manual and game, or not the case, the cover art and the instruction manual and game, and they put it in an NHL games case because there's still like the NHL licensed product sticker on this one. I thought it was funny, and maybe they should make an Indiana Jones hockey game. Would you play it? I'd try it out. Next is the sequel to a thrift store finds winner, True Crime New York City, the sequel to True Crime Streets of LA. I don't have much to say about True Crime New York City, anything of any substance, because I have not played it before, but I did think this was really funny. You open up the case, and tucked behind the instruction manual were these 3 things. Now, not one, but 3 of these identical cards that says basically that this is a fictionalized version of the NYPD and they do not endorse it, that this doesn't represent their views, and all this other garbage. Not one of these inserts, not 2, 3. 3 inserts saying that they don't endorse this. Trust us, we don't. I don't care. I know it's fake. I know that you have no control over, of a city's representation in movie form and video game form, whatever. But they felt the need to remind you 3 times that this isn't who they are, and I don't even know what they are. I don't really have any interest in visiting New York City, so I don't really care. Finishing up this episode, we have Deus Ex Invisible War, a game that I have played but really have no recollection of, so here's where I last left off in the game, and I'm just goofing off within the game. Some people have requested Deus Ex games, so those people, I know where your vote is going. I know which game you want me to review, and it's probably this one. And that's it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games for you to choose from. Vote for one of these. The top vote getter I will review, and I'll take some more time to review this from this batch. I'll give it at least 2 weeks rather than like 1 weekend, because I realize that you can't play a lot of games in just 1 weekend, and especially since I cannot sit still for like 8 hours at a time. It's just not possible for me to do. I would like to keep the once a week churn going, but sometimes it's just not possible, and I want to give these games the time they deserve. So the top vote getter, the straw poll link is in the description below. Again, I will stop counting the votes the Saturday after this video goes up. Thank you as always for watching, voting, participating, commenting, whatever you're doing, even if you're just watching. That's really cool. The plan is to do quite a few more episodes of this, and I look forward to doing that. Hope you do as well, and I will talk to you later.